Okie dokie, so this is quite possibly one of the last things that I wanted to be doing today, but we got to do it because I need a car to drive and I only have myself to blame. Whoa! So, the plan for now is going to get the car fully up on jack stands, get the high jack stands in the rear. The reason I need it fully up on jack stands is to pull this out of there. As you can see, it's got brake lines on it. Woohoo! Which means not only am I ripping the whole axle out of it, I'm gonna have to bleed the brakes afterwards, so obviously everything off wheels wise. One thing that is pretty exciting, I'm actually gonna get a handbrake in this car because I'm gonna take the time to actually install the handbrake into the rear drums. So I'm pretty pumped about that, but it's just gonna be a dog of a thing and I'm stalling. So I may as well just get into it. If you guys do enjoy, give it a thumbs up, tell your friends about the channel, and like always, if you are new here and you do subscribe, your name will be at the end of the next video. Cheers. I'm hoping I can just drive this thing up into the ramps so I can actually get a jack under it. Sick, that works. Okie dokie, so this has got to come out. To do that, got to undo these 4 bolts, this brake line, the spot for the leaf spring, and the drive shaft, and the same on this side. And then it should come down. It's really not that difficult, and I'm not worried about getting it out. Getting it back in might be a little bit of a dog because it does have leaf springs, but I don't know, I'll give it a red hot crack, and if I can't get it in, whenever Chris gets home, hopefully have his help. There will be a bit of decking around when it's out because I'm going to reassemble those rear drum brakes and put the handbrake cables back in them. There's cars to an absolute T. Like 10-15 minute pull a diff out turns into a half an hour fucking battle. I undid the 12mm which goes through the little divider which sends your main brake line down to your 2 rear brakes, and as soon as I undid that I was like, oh, I should probably like do it back up and like put it on so I could crack the nibbles, and I put it back in, just like tightened it, didn't want to go in, fucking mission, got a longer bolt, fucking fucked around with it for ages, and then finally cracked those brake lines, and then it's just shit like that, man. It's just like, ah. So now just got to hit those main bolts out of the leaf springs, drop the leaf springs down, put a jack under the diff, should bring it down, then should be able to roll it out. Fingers crossed. Well, there's still a handbrake cable left together, but my handbrake doesn't exist in this car because the cable got cut in half. So I'm just gonna cut that off, and when the diff's out, fucking go. Really got to do something about this. I just chip that off. There's a little bit more to go, ain't it? It's not bad though. The reason I did that is, if it's like that, I'll do something about it. If it's just a little slip, I'm not going to do anything about it. I honestly think the next car I'm going to paint is this one. Not too sure what I want to do it, but I want it to be out there, so we'll see. Hey, this shithole day gets worse. Fucking diffs are different. They're not, but they are. The wagon's got different leaf springs in it, supposedly. Well, must do. Which are a bit thicker, which means the pickup point for the little bracket which goes over and holds the solid axle to the leaves is thicker. Which means the bracket which goes onto the solid axle is also thicker. Ta-da! Ta-da! Part of me just wants to bang it in, but I just sat that little cup which goes over that bit and it just like slops around, which is great. So happy, so much fun. Really wanted that to be the case. So now I'm going to pull the rear hat off that diff, the one that came out of the car. I'm going to stand it up on that, undo all those bolts and see if I can take the bits of metal that are floating around in there out, see how damaged it is, and then might have to put that back in. Fuck my life. The other option is get an angle grinder and go and then put that bracket on there. We don't have a MIG here. We've got an arc welder. That's not, I refuse to use that to do that. My TIG welder's at James, but that's not really a job for a TIG anyway. Plus, fuck that. The only time I want to be doing that is if I'm putting a 31 rear end in it. Mega punch in the testicles. Okay, let's try and figure out whether I'll I'm trying to stay okay, but this is hard. Let's keep going. Fuck, I'm draining.
Not sure if you can see that. I'll try to get it so you can.
So the welds are broken, but it's one of the plates is still in there, so I can't. I mean, I can try and pick it out and just get it all out there and bang that diff in. That's probably going to be my only option, to be honest. Oh, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
It's gonna be super dark, but massive thank you to Nick. He just drove down and we're pulling this diff out so we can weld at Will's house.
It's been a cunt, man.
What?
It's been cunt.
It's been a dog of a thing. Oh, hi.
Did you degrease it?
No.
You're a fucking sloth.
Oh shit. Right, so Will's gonna do it the better dodgy way. So what's your plan, Will? Heat all the side and spider gears up so they get hot and then blast it?
Yeah, and also just gets all the weld out, the oil out.
That makes a lot of sense. Some of it didn't clean it.
You don't have to use brake cleaner when welding,
Do now?
or any chlorine based anything.
Oh,
because
chlorine, yes.
well,
Super toxic, eh?
most brake cleaner is chlorine based.
Okay. No, I think you have told me that. And then
It actually gives you like brain damage, eh? Look, he might have been using it heaps.
Spice.
Way dirtier than it should be.
Mate, you're making tea there. Thank you, Will. See you, Declan.
See you later, bro. Have fun.
Bye. Will do.
Go do some good skids.
Not tonight. I cannot be fucked to put that different tonight.
No.
Okay, bye.
See ya.
Well, fuck.
Two dudes, Sam and Matt, came here this morning and got rid of all this board stuff. So the real estate's going through insurance now, I think. I'm gonna talk to them and be like, hey, are you going to do anything to do with the scratches on my cars?
Even though the paint's really sad on this car, this wasn't here before the roof fell in.
Anyway, I'm gonna try and put this diff back in now. I don't know how I'm gonna do it by myself, but I mean, give it a crack. Yes, don't weld your diff, but let's reinstall that welded diff.
Massive thanks to you, Will. It's a bit more welded, and he also welded the side and spider gears to the housing as well, so should be better. It's still only weld one size, but let's give it a crack getting it back in. I'm not even going to worry about the handbrake cables. I was really excited to put them in, but I can do that when it's on the car. I just need to have a car to drive around. I have been thinking lately a lot that I don't really want to keep this rear end. I really want to get R31 rear end, do a full like falling setup, so it means that it will be stronger and I can put a proper LSD in it or a little mini spool so it's super safe and is always locked. But this is the daily. This just needs to be the nice reliable car. I gotta not do stupid shit like that yet. I mean, that's not stupid. It will be making the car better. All comes down to money and stuff, so... Alright, let's just get us some car. I'm just stalling, man. I don't want to do this. First things first, I gotta reinstall this rear diff hat. This is gonna be a fucking dog of a thing. So all the U-bolts for these things which go over and then hold the leaf springs to the actual diff or solid axle. This plate goes on the bottom of there, and then you can't actually bolt that to there because the bottom of the strut is the thing that actually holds it all together. And I can't put the struts in now because I don't have enough hands to like, I have to get these two leaf springs in to up there. So there is a bolt which locates the leaf spring to the solid axle, so that's like stopping it from rolling forward and backwards, which is good. I guess my plan is now I'm gonna have to get some sort of block of wood to go between both of these leaf springs to use the big jack to go up high. Hopefully it goes high enough to get these rods back into here, and then once that's up there, attach the strut and then assemble the bottom of the U-joint. no! Well, there was a couple of challenging things there. I ended up just connecting, ended up just connecting the drive shaft and the brake lines just then. They went in sweet, which is mint. Still got to bleed the brakes. Gonna have a go bleeding them by myself, but without the vacuum sucker air compressor bleed brake thing, it's a bit of a pain in the ass bleeding them by yourself, but I got to drive to work tomorrow, so we will bleed them. What I'm going to do is, I'm just going to get, hopefully we have some vacuum hose that is the right diameter just to fit over the bleed nipple, and what I'll do is I'll put the juice in a bottle, and I'll run the vacuum into the bottom of the bottle, top the reservoir up, pump, 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 start from the furthest break away from the master cylinder, and then pump, 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 crack, pump, 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 nip it off, go to the next one, furthest away, crack, pump, 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 vice versa, go around. Should work. If it doesn't, well, fuck. And then, gotta put some diff fluid in it. Yeah. And wheels on the ground, and go for a drive. So just went to bleed the brakes then. Something that's actually really cool is the brake master is actually completely separate. So your front brakes and your rear brakes actually go off a different reservoir. So I actually only needed to bleed the rears, which is cool. About to just start it up on the jack stands, put it in gears, see if the brakes work properly, and then get it on the ground, go for a drive. Brakes exist, but they're not the best. That's welding though. Ready? Yay! Woo! A bit bloody dark in here. It's only been like 3 months and we haven't changed the bulb. Yes, we're doing good. So yeah, I'm actually pretty chuffed that I managed to smash it out by myself, but I wouldn't have been able to do anything without Will, so cheers Will. Really appreciate you helping me weld my diff back together. Eventually, I would love to not have a weldy in it, but there's just so much cost and so much fabrication that at the moment I just have big skill gaps, and I'm not actually too sure what it'll cost to get an R31 diff and then cut it down and make it fit. I spoke to Will about doing like an S13 variant and he said it'll drive like shit, so probably just gonna stay solid axle. I really want to S13 front it, which would be a mission to be honest, because it doesn't even have strut towers. But that is end goal, to put like S13 strut towers or maybe 32 strut towers in it and do a McPherson strut front end with an S13 subframe. Obviously probably a while away because it is my daily and I don't have any other cars driving at the moment. Stay tuned for the Crusader. Got exciting news on that coming very soon. Yeah, anyway guys, I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, tell your friends about the channel, and like always, if you are new here and you do subscribe, your name will be at the end of the next video. Appreciate you for staying to the end, and yeah, hope you have a good weekend. Cheers.